Welcome everyone, I guess we should live. Welcome to another Linux random live at work live stream. One other data point of our daily vlog here at Linux development, to probably no one's surprise, the dual ranked Micron EDI or so 32 gig modules rated 3000 megahertz were not stable with 3800, so I actually found a new data point. Previously I usually test compiled the Linux kernel, the last weeks usually 5.9.16 as stability and performance test, and it turns out an even better stability test is actually LLVM Clang. Last night I was wondering why does some of my T2 stuff not build, like randomly segmentation fault. Is like, yeah, you better test the stability. Also, long story short, like all the big YouTubers doing the overclocking, probably not the best time spent. Maybe a little bit and then leave it as it, squeezing the last performance percentage out of there. Probably not worth the time of ever getting this back, except gathering some data points for upcoming review videos. But yeah, so back to 3600, and probably next time stability test. Some of this is surprising how reliable that was of compiling here LLVM Clang very reliably, triggering whatever performance or voltage marginality there was. Anyway, so yeah, still needing faster memory, waiting for that pre-order while we are at it. So rebuilding just some packages. I probably will throw away all the builds here from last night, because certainly I don't want to release something with random bit corruptions here with overclocked memory. But one thing, so while we are at it and waiting for hopefully this to build in hopefully less than 10 minutes time, we have one more boring shell scripting thing to finish. Last night I already looked into that. Let's see, Marcus says, by the way, Pine 64 reverse engineered the 4G Qualcomm modem. No improvements to the modem firmware coming, though. That is amazing. Reverse engineering, always the best. Yeah, I'm really sad that I said it before. I had this OpenMoko Neo 1976 or whatever that was. I think the modem was a TI, what was it, TI Goldfish, whatever that code name was, and that was one of the few that was maybe from Harald Welte or whatever, whoever reverse engineered or open firmware or something. Although on the other hand, in most parts of the world, or in many at least, they switch off 3G next year anyway. So on that front, it's like, yeah, it was stolen from storage among some other random crap. Really sad though. But on the other hand, next year, this is also the problem for the Sony Vaio P that I have here with built-in 3G. That is, maybe I should actually check. Although I think this is mini PCI and not mini PCIe. That is a little bit the drawback of nice vintage machines that had built-in 3G UMTS connectivity, and now this network being switched off. That is a little bit, yeah. But yeah, amazing stuff. I still need to check how Wayland runs on that, because the X11 Xorg performance was not the greatest. Also, another shout out, as we already talked about this in the other video of Apple M1 stuff with the instructions there of LLVM Clang generating for casting the floating point to an unsigned integer and all the negative 2 complement bits being thrown away. I think in this video I said this instruction not supported by other processors. I think I only later after the video figured that this line was only for half floating point, like 16-bit, right? So I guess other ARM64 CPUs should have that instruction just only for double and float, and not half, I guess 16-bit for machine learning and other graphic stuff. So tiny little. Did I mention? I'm not sure if I posted this below this video. Anyway, let's quickly do here one more installer thing, because yesterday fixing the grub stuff for a separate boot partition. I think I committed this already, right? Grub 2, yeah, we committed that. I also wanted, because I then found the swap was addressed by direct names like SDA2, and they could theoretically change even with NVMe theoretically in randomly different timing sensitive AHCI versus NVMe probing order, but even more so if you install this on a USB drive. Of course, you will never get, well, never, but very seldomly get the same device name. So let's also convert this to UUID, and I looked into this already last night while sitting at home, and some of the stuff should maybe not necessarily be in base. Anyway, Stone, so this would be, because I was thinking how to do that, UUID here in our setup tool 1, and the way I will do this is, because here what we've done in another live stream earlier, Danny text document on Discord, I've seen maybe one log. Do you mean the log file? I think I've seen that, if you mean this. So here in this part of the setup tool 1, it is preparing the change route. So we have here the mounted targets from proc mount, and here is where we edit the looking this up in dev disk by UUID stuff. And as you see, we grab here for the MLT target stuff. So here are not the swap files. So to avoid code duplication, I could just copy and paste this code to where we do this for the FS tab. However, I think it's much better style if we avoid code duplication. So let's svn log that, and also Unicode stuff. Maybe, by the way, probably I wanted to try something. Can we try that here? Maybe I should actually, maybe the problem with, because I was thinking the last days also about this super annoying, this stupid UTF-8 Unicode non-breaking whitespace stuff that with my fast typing. I should probably disable this, but maybe this is because I don't have a locale set for root. So maybe en us.utf8 might actually, I'm not really sure if we would need to restart the bash for that, so maybe we should, maybe I need to test this another day. Anyway, svn log this time with, yeah. But yeah, probably not sure. Am I the only one with this? Are all other German pro people using a US layout to avoid this? Anyway. So there's our UUID, sort extra rooms at the end. No, this was not that. UUID improve here. Oh, this was already in August, man. The time is running really fast this year, especially if you try to do some YouTube video every other day. So that would be this change. Let's save that. Edit here some of the stuff away. As you know, I'm a huge fan also. What do we do here? Huge fan of this is just like improving readability here of stuff, and this is the UUID stuff that we edit, and we will revert now. So we have here minus, so just grab this stuff and etc mtab. So that actually, so we leave this like here, we basically revert this. This patch reverse x. And then there's our FS tab. We just move this code to another place where we can use it also for the swap. Not that we get random boot failures due to swaps. So that should be actually here. Here's some org magic. Where would be etc truncate 240, not truncate tr. So here we have that. Where's our mtab? Make fs tab, and So currently mounted file system, so that would be here currently active swaps. This would be all of this stuff. So we would somewhere. So yeah, LLVM. Well, in case you were wondering what I'm longing for, the most possible CPU cycles and stuff. Maybe we make this a function or something. Because it's a little bit, this is sorting and also this is some fancy shell scripting of back in the day. Sort and encrypts lost non-default ones. Because somewhere I think it's best to inject here. Maybe even here, you know what, we already, so here we create this and here we sort this, so cut, sort u, wire read, dn, do, grab, tail in one, def point type residuals, so this is somehow reformatting this stuff. So as here is the def thing, I guess, so we have here tempfs and swap and otherwise, so probably there. So that means we source in here our reverted patch and make this a function. Probably this should be quite similar to what we have in grub. Let's see, of x86 grub to maybe it's even easier to look up the UUID for def read link. Maybe it's easier to copy that. Ideally, I wouldn't even want to have that. Is this here quite similar for def in? So this is grabbing this stuff. Veronica says they like GNU, do you? Well, depends what you mean by that. Oh, please explain. So the core code of that is here. So for def that looks pretty identical. Just that probably probably we can, as a default path, in this case, echo the original def, I would say. And so this is what would be in here. So echo get UUID def. What else do we have here? Case type in and case point in. So basically this would unfortunately mean def proc this, that we need to take this def out of here. Do we have tabs here? And so def, I think this was def. We split this, or I split this here because we only want this UUID. I mean, theoretically, probably, you know what, I guess it doesn't hurt to call this. So what do? We check for this. I mean, okay, we wouldn't even need to do this, you know what, let's not change this, doesn't matter much. Just call it here and it will return the original device. So get UUID def, that probably should do. Unfortunately, yeah, this LVM Clang, this takes a little bit longer than I thought it would. How long did this even build? But yeah, LVM Clang, so not making this up in case you're wondering why I buy this fancy process is even overpriced. Yeah, 9 minutes for LVM Clang, in case you're wondering why I'm longing for smaller software, faster compilers. Let's see, what else do we have in the to-do? We need to test this, obviously. Nothing goes here, as we are professionals, nothing goes here out without tests. So swap, so this should be swap by UUID. What else do we have here? Ongoing packages, something, modernized website, wiki issue, feature tracking stuff. Font for GVim, so this should be like fixed by previous video. Actually building with GTK plus. Cron config, wait. I mean, you see there, if you, as is also, we probably really need a proper issue tracking stuff for others to file stuff and work on stuff and not have here my private to-do file. And yes, 15 years ago I said this the other day, we had some trackbots. This was constantly spammed by Asian cheap electronic components, what we called LED spam, and eventually hacked anyways. Thankfully it wasn't running on my servers because I really hate this dynamic PHP, whatever. Or Python code, wait, background, beta, update, take over. What else do we have here? This is everything not that relevant, just some nice to have. Actually, unfortunately, we have a new regression. I think the recently updated ICU4C does not cleanly cross-compile anymore. Probably need to tackle that sometime. Yeah, so much too. I only built this LVM Clang to avoid random corruption, and now we are still building on that, unfortunately. But yeah, also 4.6 gigahertz turbo boosting doesn't help much if the source code is humongous. So Wayland, so actually I'm not really sure with it. With this Wayland, I'm not sure how cross-compilable this Wayland and Sway. You know what, theoretically, but I think, did I wipe the... Theoretically, because these are the small things that I would need to test. I only add Wayland also to the minimal Xorg or minimal desktop if it builds easily. This doesn't build due to that. That might be missing LVM Clang for last night's random bit corruption stuff. Do we, by the way? I hope not have any new. So yeah, I thought the Epic thread wrapping in Horizon will quickly compile this, and I underestimated how just outrageously large that stuff became. You know what? One small thing we could do there on the to do is made. We finished LVM. So how long did that build, or actually Clang? That built a whopping 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Yeah. So yeah, probably you want to share, like, and subscribe to motivate me get a epic thread ripping, real thread ripper when the 5,000 thread ripping things are out there. Because obviously, you see, we urgently need that. But not to waste our time, we also need more coffee, but let's also do then one mate thing there of defaulting that to opt mate just for the sorting of it. So yeah, defaulting to opt mate while the coffee machine makes a coffee for us. Very nice out of it. By the way, what is this? The architecture X, that should also not be there. Usually I have some X in some diffs and whatnot. Yeah, cassette we probably can delete. Coffee, welcome to this channel. Like maybe I should actually install a secondary camera at the coffee machine for the views. So all of this stuff, probably we... also, you know what, let's probably uninstall this also in a second, because most of the stuff I actually have in the system. But for that we could copy what would be a... Usually I take some package to add a T2 config option. Also, let's hope this eventually builds here. Shouldn't take 9 minutes plus, yeah, really 20 minutes. Nah, the feeling that. Anyway, made utils, so some basing like made utils. Would that be any other? Or libmate? Whether no, not that. Okay, then let's take this one and copy from GNOME. We like GNOME. glib config in here and GNOME in. So the purpose of this files is one will provide the config option. So this config option will only show if this is selected. And actually, maybe we do it like this. It's probably actually we have to leave some new lines. What was this config in? Did we probably still have some new line removal to do there? Then menu made package config install prefix for VI, our best friend, right? Made package made core prefix. This is just our good old naming convention stuff. So what this does is if made utils is selected, so that this option only shows if you're actually running this stuff, then create your sub menu begin of menu package made stuff of made package options. Theoretically, we don't really need a sub menu for one option thing, but whatever. And then some text option. It's a little bit Linux kconfig kind of stuff of install prefix for made packages. Hopefully new typos. Also this title case, maybe a little bit alien, but whatever. Cconfig package made core prefix. Also have a straight 2 there. And the other thing is this made config in, which is what all packages will include, so that this is a little bit surrounding glue, which also some of this stuff we can obviously delete because this is not GNOME. And so if the prefix is auto, if the user or the target developer didn't specify anything in T2, and for one core package we don't do the sanity check thing, so one thing will set actually no sanity check. LVM heavy finish with GCC, so GCC build here, just some data points, and wow, and just, yes, how much is the stuff? LVM clangs like, 10 minutes there, 6 minutes there, whatever that was, and GCC just like, 3 minutes 20 or so. So yeah, we're getting there. So this is just some sanity checking stuff. Whether that is there already. So made, theoretically could have used here SED or stuff, but whatever. Made config. So here's also another if this is somehow not found. For example, if you didn't properly configure this, but didn't properly configure that, or just emerged that without selecting this, then defaulting to that anyway without any configuration. Just the decade of scripting experience to make this an less error-prone experience. So then this is to otherwise, so if this core package like made utils otherwise use the same prefix, so that even if you accidentally change this or build it without configuration, then you get the same prefix for all of this. This is just testing that it's there, that you get a nice error, and then prefix of package, prefix of that. Just, yeah, you don't come up with this kind of stuff of this logic. This is just, yeah, decade of experience of being there, done that, back in the Rocky Linux day when we had actually many more users. So then all of these packages would include this. That would look like that, GNOME2 of glib. Somewhere like where would that be? That would be this. Just that with these packages we will not create small conf files. We will add this here for conf and include this file. Of course, in our case, this will just be made conf. And here you see this no sanity check thing. All the other packages, made conf, all the other packages will get this. Is it worth to SED that? Maybe it's worth to SED that. So that that's our famous live regular expression matching stuff of match p. Let's debug this first. So that would be what is a small package Marco, match p. Wait a second, this is that, and then print for test. So this works. And then let's substitute, or actually this, let's try this in one. Substitute to what matched plus new line, and then this stuff. Alright, so this due to the slashes there, we best don't use slashes here for this delimiter. So that would be that, and option print, and that also works. Probably much easier than two new lines, easier than doing this manually. So in place, no print and all of this desk. And there we have it. That are beautiful use of Unix tool stuff, made utils. And here we have now two, that is obvious. Alright, let's uninstall all this stuff. For pin all of this stuff, do echo p, remove the slash, that is trailing as so, then mine rf maybe removing all the stuff, and then what is our build doing? Still building LVM, because we don't yet have an Epic Threadripper. Only allow the horizon, which is why it's still building. I might be even building in tempfs. x86 config tempfs, that obviously slows things down a tiny little bit. Ah, shit. By the way, to trigger people, free Taiwan and Hong Kong. Cheers. A little bit political correctness here. Man, does this take long? Let's see, did we already create this wrongly named config? Of course we did. So then let's install. This was made utils or so. Let's see if this build, we also should better determine whether that builds as a primary first package for that stuff. because if this this does not build, this needs you this. Ah shit! This bloody package doesn't even build thing. I didn't finish. At least I think I did in previous video. So there's always so much more stuff to package. Made utils did it at least. Configure with opt-mate, so that works in theory. Just maybe this is not the very best package then, but maybe let's just leave it like that. Can fine-tune that another day, honestly, because there's only so much time. So in case you're wondering how this kind of stuff like shared, so this is how to share some config code stuff here in this packages. In my opinion, quite easy to read and stuff. By the way, here we could just move these lines together. We have some white space damage there. Good that we checked that. So that's this is also why I use this. Welcome back, Danny. This is why we use this coloring there. So that when we commit something, also this probably means that the other thing had the same damage, though. Did I copy and paste it, or did I? No, I copied the file. Oh. Okay, so yeah, welcome everyone here to our live Linux channel. LVM build, how fast did that build? So then we are soon through LVM build in 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 16 seconds, I think. Yeah, let's commit all that stuff. Is this so? Yeah, 4.62 boost all cores of Clang. You know what? Some of this is crazy slow. How can that be that slow, man? I have the feeling the LVM Clang build tortures this humble Ryzen. In case you're wondering if that is a thing. I have the feeling that is not ideal. Oh, there's quite some stray white space damage. Who would do that? Crazy stuff. Man, does this... yeah, that is really torturing the CPU like that. Wow, crazy slow. Because some shell scripting never that slow as a fully loaded. Yeah. Anyway, so edit prefix option to mate packages, whatever. Edit prefix option to mate packages defaulting to mate 2. Likewise, oops. That hopefully should be good. So given that we still have a couple of minutes to kill here, we could apply the same white space cleaning we've done previously. Superfluous white space before we have here like this. Actually, this is in Y. More global in white space cleanup. Strange. How did we had then? Maybe this was an older version. Actually, I'm actually right now running with some subversion revisions lower due to the random segmentation faults, due to the overclocked stuff. Yeah, so for those who are new to this channel, live developing here our amazing Linux distribution, rolling release source stuff of 20 years. One of the oldest Linux distributions, probably at the time where there were only 15 and not 1500, as based on Rock Linux, lovely readable code, scripted, cross-compiling Linux stuff. And as per usual, live on this channel, probably should be through here. And for those who are late to this, yeah, my overclock wasn't entirely stable. It looked stable. 600 megahertz memory overclock might have been a little bit too much for this Micron eDie. And as I said in the very beginning, which is probably 35 minutes ago, LVM Clang, a really nice system stress test if that worked previously and now randomly segmentation faults, and probably have some system instability. And I'm still quite surprised how reliable that was to reproduce. Anyway, so slightly still massively overclocked and curve optimized. Yeah, finally, hopefully, fingers crossed, and some stuff hopefully stable. Cheers. So glib, this was GNOME, I think GNOME conf in. Let's see if, by the way, this might actually, I wonder how many other confs have that, but let's see if at least the, no, why is this not removed here? That is crazy. I'm puzzled. I would think at least the other ones should have been the other white spaces. Did I not run conf in? Globally in, so that would be... you know what we have not done? We have done all of this here, but we have not done white space at the end of the line. Or did I? Maybe I didn't. You know what? Maybe I didn't run white space at end of line yet because that touches the copyright so much. Then let's do white space at the end of the line while we wait for just a little bit previous video, just to make this look really professional. Not any stray stuff. So that would be substitute any spaces. Let's, by the way, to avoid this copyright thing, we could actually, what do we have here? That is, no, we want just white space. And to avoid this copyright thing, we could do it like that. Substitute in place. Not hash space, like that. Okay, that killed a lot of stuff. Why? This is where we do this in some cleaner and untouched subversion, that we can debug that without ruining all our other 100 working copy changes. So what have we done here? Substitute, basically, so not, this is why this needs to, we need to capture that, and because we obviously we match here something, so if we matches that we, this is probably what we did wrong. Yeah, so now this works there. SED star Z, and yeah, as expected, way more that I would want. How many others even? So this is how many I usually historically tried to have 24 actually, but this is only, you can also do conf. So this is how white space unclean people work. I historically always tried, you obviously don't see this in that diff, but all of this here was white space there. And yeah, crazy amounts. In case you were wondering, waste of time of doing that, 148 files. Why I even consider doing that, this is just to once, as I said, once and for all to get rid of this now. Welcome everyone. Some of those frozen frames are perfect. What do you mean frozen? What frozen frames? Yeah. What? How many drop frames do we have? 6, 0 point, 3 embed today, I think. So, yeah, as I mentioned, I just want to have this super professional and not like littered white space all over the place. And again, this is also when people use UI editors or are not aware that terminal emulator stuff at times inserts white spaces all over the place. Do we have, I mean, theoretically we could also throw this over the disk files immediately and this is copy shit. This is exactly what I wanted to try to avoid. But thankfully, svn revert all disk, which basically all. Yeah, making progress there. So we can soon test our installer modification from 30 minutes ago. And welcome everyone. So as usual, ask me anything here. And so that would be not that. Actually, I mean that. Let's try that again. Yeah, there are as expected. I mean, yeah. So lots of white spaces. So what's this mean here? You see no change except yeah, at the end was some white space. This is exactly this kind of stuff that... Anyway, and also in general, I would suggest, well, leave me in the comments below this white space cleanness. I mean, in theory, this is something that opens... More high-profile open source projects are. Look at this whole thing there, white space at the end. If we would run our, how many are this even now? So basically, we probably touch like nearly every file now. 200, and not every. To be fair, I mean not everything, but you also probably see the more this is not mainstream-based stuff, the more it's third-party contribution stuff, the more white space. Bracket probably, but also this is what like high-profile open source projects like the Linux kernel and similar stuff. Also, I see here already from the indentations that this is also spaces instead of tabs, for example, but I'm not touching that today. Danny talks about X11 like var append GCC wrapper something. What about Danny? Did he... Some packages are searching for them. Added X11 string to GNOME and made. Yeah, that could be, this is due to us defaulting to opt. I mean, theoretically, these packages should not break like that. But this is just like upstream stuff not being super clean. Yeah, I guess we can just commit this like that. I mean, some of the stuff would could do with major reworking anyway. What did so PD4 said really would like an explanation of the package management tool can others to it. That's a good point. Probably I should maybe go in more detail there. Also, actually, fun fact, I'm thinking of, well, despite I really need to get going with some own operating system for long-term sane future of IT stuff. But as much as we continue, also here's a commented outline here. This probably should have not been committed. I'm actually considering to, over the next decade of revamping T2, making this package management stuff with binary base that you could install versus emerging from source, much more integrated and less error prone and more user friendly. And yeah, that's a lot of white space damage. Obviously, also, by the way, I will probably also wipe some more stuff that usually barley work, like real-time application interface, RTAI, and even targets. There's some Archivista target, RTIA or Raspberry Pi target. I think I just the stuff that this third-party contributions that were always a little bit not as professionally done, and barley worked a decade ago and certainly totally bit rotten by now. I will probably wipe some of this truly Abendunber stuff sometime soon. And PT4 said, coming from others, make it hard to grasp the basic package. Well, I mean, basically, it's a little bit like Gentoo of installing a pre-built ISO if you want so for the ease, and I would in general recommend of like grabbing the Octane PS3 or regular x86 ISO and then emerging stuff similar. So this is not dissimilar as Gentoo, just with more cross-compile support and this target grouping and so on. The only thing that probably is a little bit more smooth in Gentoo is the dependency resolution stuff, which is a little bit bare minimum in T2, but I will work on here on this live on this channel to make the dependency resolution more smooth for having a more smooth and less error-prone experience for users. In general, I mean, the point of this, as I said here, growing these channels and like others hot airing the whole day in their basement, and bit similar of working on code, Linux distribution, other fun stuff here. The whole point is of using this as means of education and hanging out in the open source Linux community, but also certainly allowing me to do all the polishing that I've neglected a little bit the last decade, and that make T2 much more amazing now that it's not yet much income of $3 a day, but thanks to your Patreon and YouTube membership, it's growing, and certainly a nice thing. Hello everyone there, Miguel and Anthony writes, T2 takes a different approach, making normal distribution require a little bit different thinking. It is meant to be a minimal system for you to build your stuff. Yeah, that is probably a good summary. And also for professionals to use a similar to Buildroot. It basically is, I would say, I'm not sure, a decade ago Gentoo didn't have much cross-compilation support. I think back in the day there was an external cross-Gentoo or something. It's a little bit of somewhat the best of, although T2 is old, right? 22, it's not a copy of Open Embedded, Buildroot or Gentoo. It's like Rock Linux, the base that is T2 now, the forked off and now legacy. It's one of the oldest Slackware distributions since 1996 or 1995-ish. It's a completely freestanding stuff, and a lot of the best pieces of Buildroot, Open Embedded, Gentoo, for example, Open Embedded back in the day, they had a lot of QEMU integration, and their cross-compiling stuff was not as time-consumingly patched and set up as in T2. They had a lot of like, we don't really cross-build cleanly, but run stuff in QEMU, which like do like native build stuff and just run everything that is not native through QEMU. A little bit error prone and slow and stuff. Sure, it is different from all of them. It's not a copy of any of them, but basically you can do with T2 what you can otherwise do with Gentoo, Buildroot or Open Embedded all in one, so that you can run this on a desktop or server, or certainly your orchestrated cloud, Elastic Cloud, and embedded targets. And unlike other distributions that are just a source distribution, you can group your stuff. So if you have a product like a NAS, a cloud solution, whatever, you can permanently store your stuff here in Target, where we have some, and probably should delete some examples here. And this means you have your configurations of what packages, of what patches, of what other config for your commercial Linux-based stuff to ship. Did I commit this already? No, I'll finally commit this here. Removed trailing superfluous trailing white space from package. What did we do? We did desk conf and in. Maybe we can also type this proper as in. I guess that should do, right? Repository package name. It's a little bit much, but that's what you get from cleaning all this stuff up. Let's see. Packages in Debian in the past and maintain them. Want to pick up this in T2. Yeah, I think particular in Debian, to me, the package maintenance looked really annoying to me, packaging this in control and data table stuff. And this is like a magnitude simpler and easier, in my opinion, from what I've seen there. What is needed to run Linux on a PS3? Does it need to be a dev version of? No, it doesn't need to be a dev version. You need to have an old enough PS3 that is jailbroken. That means before SKU 3000. So I think so. The last jailbroken one is 2500, CECH-2500 series. So that is the medium last slim. So the last slim and the super slim are not jailbroken enough yet. So you need a custom firmware, CFW custom firmware that restores other OS support, which is any old fat, the first slim. And maybe I heard some people are working on jailbreaking later slims also. But anyway, it doesn't need to be dev version. The dev version has the benefit of having twice the memory. Otherwise, in a retail, if you don't have a retail PS3 yet, I would not necessarily suggest you go to any third-party marketplace used goods stuff like eBay and buy one, because unfortunately the memory is a little bit limited with just 256 megabyte. Yep, so we make progress here with that. Theoretically there was one, all right, there was this commented, or let's grab for stuff starting with commented out in all of desk. This is not too much because I wanted to at least delete, there was one LTO thing. Thankfully this was only one. Fix me. Yeah, so this is thankfully only this one that someone must have committed accidentally, removed commented LTO, or was it ARM or MIPS? Maybe MIPS. That should not be in there either. So I guess we, how many are left? We are making progress there. By the way, I guess we can update all the packages that are of course plenty, and yeah, there, wait a second, postpone. What have we, 4747 something, 68.2, oh this is why, maybe I just, oh, you know what? No. Because this doesn't cross-build yet, so solved. So this we should get to an end, and then we can boot this. Create error list for x86. Did I say soon? This was somehow grossly overestimated because we still have. Yeah, also sometime soon. I said this before. We will make this text look nicer, not so strangely 90s ASCII graphic stuff, and add here some percentage. Maybe even if you have fancy estimated build time remaining, but for sure percentage, so that you see build package 140 of 300 something, like 50%, I know, whatever. So white space, we didn't have that. What else? Alright, made. Package up by default, so we have done that. Actually, yeah, unfortunately, I thought I had this built further. Also, it's mostly small packages. So, also sometime sooner than later. Yeah, but you see our microkernel, we should build tool packages in parallel because as you see, this is unfortunately not making the very best use here. Also not turbo boosting way higher than our with the 5950X and our 3950X. But certainly it would speed the build up significantly if we would build here whole packages in parallel as well. PD4Z is at the moment fiddling with Odroid N2 plus NT2. That is amazing. BBK still errors out on LTO wrapper. Yeah, I saw this. I actually don't quite know why. I guess we could test that. Does that build like that? Maybe it does. Let's test this already while we wait for the other stuff. We didn't check out T2 here. Alright, DH client 0, oops. And because my system is older, also I last night, oops, that was wrong, I wanted that. Last night due to the random segmentation faults, I installed actually some last known good LVM Clang GCC, but otherwise my system was older without this here workstation thing, which without LTO support, because I only previous videos fixed and wired that up this year. So I saw your log is strange that it said set standard compression not supported. That is a little bit strange. Anthony would also like to move to some T2 and build some container images. Yeah, also the thing is, I already got some packages, I mean, sometimes from the Puppy Linux people, which sometimes use T2 to build some of their space-reduced packages, and PS3 and so on, which is amazing. Also, as soon as we get a handful of new people working on this stuff weekly or even daily, like in Rock Linux Times, stuff will accelerate even further. Again, of course, the more people working on the stuff, so the more snappy and polished and avoiding issues and regressions and everything it will be. Converted devices logged into his overkill for applying doing the same thing with PI4. There it built fine, no corner errors out. Thanks for this data point. So this is right now. Maybe I should actually prevent, virtualized frame buffer scrolling, not the necessarily highest performance thing. This is funny. We only now hit Mesa, then the AMD 64-bit was actually further down the line. Anyway. Hello. There. Mouse. Yeah, why? Here we are. Just a little bit slowish. as you see a repainting here, like that. You really have to wonder that, yeah, also maybe whatever is going on here with the graphic performance. Yeah, with the Raspberry Pi, I never have personally been the greatest fan of the Raspberry Pi due to the nature of this proprietary boot stuff and so on. This is really a pity with this ARM stuff. I'm actually, we worked with ARM here commercially and stuff off and on, but I never quite like the chaos of that is ARM stuff. So let's see, this probably should have LTO on. Here, this is my current default, yeah, so LTO 486, just let's see if we can reproduce this, and emerge, so you set BB keys. I mean, very theoretically, we could just disable, this is also, this is building stuff we don't necessarily want. Okay, it actually really wants Perl, darn it. That is a pity, that wastes a couple of more. Especially, yeah, we didn't build, we didn't boot this 486 with SMP. So yeah, a couple of to-do things, although not my greatest personal interest in the Mate desktop, but still showing it some love there for you playing along at home. And yeah, unfortunately Perl. We probably either can test that in no time. What are we here? Error list of 105. Yeah, we 35 packages in while we are talking. Edwin writes, as far as they know, there's also been working on UEFI implementation of Raspberry Pi. It's got Windows 10 ARM version, SSE 3. Yeah, we will see. We will fix this soon. Maybe no. I mean, we could always disable LTO for this package, but I first like to see what exactly is happening there. So this LTO stuff should work. It's a little bit strange that this is also wrong. It's a little bit strange to me that your log set sets the net compression not supported. That is really strange. Though people write us the most. I mean, it is crazy how what users write to support. That is hilarious. Regarding FPGA, I really would like to do some advanced designs with the VEX RISC-V. What is a little bit annoying to me is that this spinal HDL stuff based with Java and was it Julia or something, that is a little bit annoying to me to have such infrastructure. That is a little bit as much as amazing as it is. As amazing it is that people work on RISC-V stuff, it's the same somehow with Linux distributions like this Midgen, this Spinal HDL, and at the end you need so much infrastructure and incompatible stuff. And yeah, Edwin writes, guessing UEFI implementation will sit on top of the preparatory boot stuff. Yeah, probably. I will be really curious to see how this unmatched RISC-V thing will be going off. Obviously, I have no illusions about the performance. I also commented this there. Someone commented below our video, so on the main channel, previous video. I pre-ordered this. I got it at Mauser. Also, fun fact, really, while we wait here for that, what is really strange with this company is here was previously like, if you want to buy this, contact us, and I contacted them. There was like sales at, I think it's like fired them off an email, like, yeah, count me in. How can we order this? And so I got nothing, right? Why did they had their contact us sales and stuff when they don't even spend the effort of writing them, hey, we have, you know, crowd supply or Mauser stuff. So I wrote them an email, I got nothing, and only in our Discord someone mentioned, hey, this can now be pre-ordered or something. It's like, why the freaking heck did I even send them an email? But anyway, because with crowd supply, with customs and stuff, I rather ordered this at Mauser, not to have any shipping and customs challenges here with the EU and US and stuff. So I ordered this at Mauser. I got a notification that the shipping date changed through the Mauser stuff, back order stuff, automated email that this is estimated for end of Q1, like March. And they upgraded the memory though from 8 to 16 gig, which at the same price, which certainly is nice. But I have no illusions that this will be Raspberry Pi performance, right? This will not be Apple M1 kind of performance. This is not like 500 instruction reorder buffer or something. But anyway, I hope it will be a nice thing. I only hope what the firmware they write here, Freedom firmware. They also have a GitHub apparently. I said this before. I guess the firmware will be a Freedom USDK. And I have no illusions that in the meantime they have here getting started guide, initial setup. This is, I'm not sure if they had this the first time. Anyway, I guess the firmware will be similar. Okay, this is not downloadable, but this is Freedom. What? Please fill out the forms to yeah, super Freedom, just fill out the stuff. Like, thank you very much. So much freedom to send that. Yeah, I would wonder, because I'm not interested in Dream It, Build It, complete open source. What is it? Recursive clone of Freedom ESDK. Here's something. Source files, Freedom platforms, USDK, ESDK, developing Freedom E platform. Is it? This is our build going, huh? Black box. Okay, here is also the LTO wrapper failed. That is here's also oops, where's our what did I somehow, oh no, I apparently killed this with maybe Control C in the wrong focused terminal thing here. So it looks like even 486 can reproduce this. The question is, does it, I would need to debug this. Do we have, let's see, if like testing LTO, does Lure have, it does not have LTO disabled. Also, why is here 513 patch? Oh, this is patch. Let's see if LTO works in general. DH client 0. What does Lure? So this is, I mean, package management, right? Just emerging from source. Debian shows Ubuntu tries to use U-boot directly and SUSE uses U-boot grub iffy. Okay, so maybe, let's see, var adm log, let's see if that is in the log. So what is our build doing? Okay, we need to rebuild. Parse, this is my only hack here, unfortunately. Parse this Rust, recurring theme, need to, it's a little bit work around. of hackily building ROS stuff. This will unfortunately take also a moment. You guessed it, Mongo sources. What, NVIDIA DLA blocks? What the heck? FPGA shell. Repository kinds, LTL created, platforms, whatever. What do we have here? ESDK board support package, because getting started, freedom metal, writing software, variation images, development boards. I have the feeling this will be old school. See exactly what I want to get rid of. This also is free RTOS metal. Device tree tools. QEMU. Revision unleashed. Apparently maybe the unmatched thing is not there yet. But anyway, this would be interesting to get like our completely own firmware, to have something potentially completely new without any C legacies. That would be amazing. So this is LTO, FLTO1, so there may be something that BBKs, maybe they do something strange. I have no idea what's happening there. Would take then some time to analyze this, and BB keys, what exactly they do there. Did you try just like no LTO? Was it no LTO? No, let's. Because for me, with this kind of stuff, if it's not high performance, it's actually not really that much. Very similar to overclocking, like so the extra last 1 to 3% if you have unstable system, not worth it. So if it's not super high performance, like a Java hotspot VM or LVM Clang, it's not really worth my, or probably many people, time to check BB key LTO stuff of like YOLO, whatever. Let's just disable that unless, but although you can, this still fails. That is interesting. What is it doing there? So much traffic. Might need to investigate this. After all, LTO. So it looks like I have like no idea why this is happening. So I can reproduce it. I have no idea why this occurs. It doesn't look like. I mean, the funny thing is that we have no mentioning of LTO here in the log, so I've no idea why it's even trying to do that. BB keys 113. So built on Rust. The question is, one of those files even, what are those? The question is, which LTO stuff, is it even LTO? What exactly is? Maybe we could find out, we just don't have, normally I would copy and paste that now, but does GPM work like this? Maybe not. Because if we strace the whole thing here, follow everything, log, it would maybe interesting to know what is the last file they opened. Okay, they have here LTO wrapper args. I have no idea why it's maybe it's defaulting to LTO for some strange reason. So, whatever. Really strange. I don't really think it should do LTO. Oops, what if I don't know? Maybe wrong focus again. Maybe it's somehow defaulting to LTO, which obviously should not do. Why did this fail? Command did not execute. Thank you very much. No space left on device. Thank you very much. What a waste of time. Yeah, so how humongous is this stuff? Like, yeah, maybe actually I should change the default now. 8 gigs was like a decade ago, 8 gigs was massive. Now it's like, yeah, YOLO, not for Rust, obviously. What a waste of time now. All the precious Electron and epic thread ripping Ryzen cycles wasted. So it looks like somehow why no, it says something else. All right, welcome to the brave new world. We don't have a freaking Is it not amazing? 2020, you don't have back scroll there anymore. Local dev, unfortunately can't copy this. ENUS. FUTF-8. But yeah, not impressed by the state of the Linux kernel anymore, especially with all the nice features deleted. That is really not cool if you already don't have back scroll anymore, because Linus Torvalds can't do C. FLTO compression level report. How to disable that? By the way, do we still have the log here? What is that stuff doing? Probably single core linking Mongoose Rust stuff. Just one more. One of many packages that I could reproduce that to get your attention. Here is use linker plugin F no LTO. F no LTO is probably what we did here. It's adding F no LTO. I have no idea why this happens. No, I don't have my key bindings here down. Oh, that works, apparently. Not down, but up. No. What is it here? Lib BT. Is it? Oh, by the way. I think this black box thing might have that LTO. Does it have? Looks like this lib black box has it in the static archive. But I would, maybe there's just some symlink missing. I thought I have all symlinks there now. I guess that is probably, so the problem is probably that this static library has LTO GCC bytecode stuff in it. I only wonder. Maybe there's still some LTO thing. You know what? Maybe that doesn't have the proper LTO wrapper thing in there. What? LTO is only change conditional searching specific LTO removal for new disabled new tools. Directory. Okay, so we have BFD plugins. Here's libbfd plugins. Do we also have a GCC BFD? But there is some liblto plugin. Libbfd plugins, liblto plugin is O. I think that should do. Is GCC not built with plugin support or what? Extra conf opt enable threads, enable plugins. Looks good to me. What's this still building? I mean, theoretically, if you so much to let's shortly test this 1.5 hours later. So I wanted to this log to see if anything accesses this BFD plugins. No. What the heck? Enable plugins. Sure, good question. This is my life, always some other shit not working. What is this, by the way? I'm here credit. This is our stuff, probably this is our stuff, huh? So I think we did follow child's log everything. Which is it even? 1108 probably is bin utils ld, I guess. Close lstat bin ld fork lstat open at ld, yeah, so that is exec ve ld something pp keys. So well, it looks to me that this bin util is somehow not using the BFD plugin there for that. I just don't know why it doesn't open this plugin. I mean, here we have something LTO wrapper. So maybe this path is here also abbreviated. Maybe it tries to open something in libi486, whatever, something. Ah, that is still, yeah, single thread, probably. Single thread. threaded fabricate. Nah. You get the idea. So the thing is, I always forget how to. Verbose does not get rid of all of this stuff. There is still stuff abbreviated that needed some extra. Here the stuff is still abbreviated. Do we have... I mean, at least we anyway wait for Rust, obviously. In case you're wondering, I'm not the most impressed with Rust and LVM Clang. Here's Eno entry lib, PTESO. That is before potentially. Yeah, it's, oh, why does this still fail? Don't tell me we run again out of space. Are you freaking kidding me? Well, you need more than 16 gig of memory, or what the heck? This is hilarious. Why is debug on our right? I wanted to debug something. Okay, that explains the thing that is. Okay, I take this. Oh shit. Anyway, I guess that this is it soon for this video. Watching me trying to figure out why this BFD plugin is not used is probably also not the most interesting thing. We could only give it a guess with we have here in bin utils. Maybe it wants it in some other directory. Is it? Oh no, this is GCC obviously. Maybe it wants this in some arch target lib something too. Actually, maybe we should actually check if this is valid user lib. Was it BFD plugins? Is this? Yeah, this is actually. Valid link. I'm really wondering. That this works. Actually, I think GCC passes this down here, probably with plugin option and stuff. Maybe this is different if we compile this and then what was it's been 15 years since I manually link executable LD. The question is, I can't anyway. LD something something test user lab. Nah. Maybe is this no, it's using G++, not LD directly. Ah, you know what? Maybe it is, maybe this LTO stuff is there, just the cross-compile stuff is not built with set standards. Maybe that is the issue. That the cross-compiler, was built with set standard support, and that might be the issue. Build 36. But you see, you always need to think a little bit creative and around the corner, and you certainly need actually, but this has set standard here in 1G. That is set standard. So much to that. But however, we rebuilt GCC. Unfortunately, we don't have. Oh shit! I also what? Probably I always Control C this here without focusing. So that probably is the issue. I think we are here onto something, and this is why probably the cross-compiler used stuff is LZO compressed, and the other stuff nicht. Unfortunately, we don't have the log here because they are not in the binary, but we can in the binary package. Oops, what if I don't know? I somehow moved that. No, but anyway. Wherever I now moved these other stuff. Ah, here. We can find this out with set standard in the packaging schedule config of packages and GCC. So it could be that rebuilding this was hiding this now. So we have, yeah, so we first built GCC. Yeah. The question is, that probably is a thing. Was a little bit due to the hidden nature of that. We could simply build this even earlier. That does that work? Does it need C++? Maybe this is pure C, which would be good because it's that early we don't have a C++ library. Can we, you know what, we can probably, how far is, can we check this with this x86 build maybe? Yeah, exactly. So this is it. Anyway, have to take some phone call. Hope you learned something and we will fix this soon. And I hope to see you soon for our next videos and live streams to come.